What's going on, Paisanos? V here. Come at you guys. Well, not a marker wash today. You know, I always like reading your comments, and I read them constantly. If you guys want to see me read anything, just comment down below. It's really simple. This person says, LOL, I have 2 times first edition Secret Rare Coach Kings, which I bought for like $6 when the Dark World Truck Check was announced. Time to cash out. That's what it's all about. Listen. With the market watches videos I do, it's not necessarily about just finding and buying cards to make money, which is a huge aspect, but it's also, hey, listen, you might have some of these cards in your binders, and in this video, some of these cards in your binders might be keepers. In fact, you might want to even go to local soon and start trading for more of these cards that we're going to be talking about in this video. Alternatively, some of these cards are great to sell, specifically cards that, well, have a lot of hype, but not a really, and a lot of value, but not really a lot of playability. One thing about doing market watches is you do market watches long enough, you remember the very few times you said everyone should buy a card. One of the most pushed cards I ever did in this channel was Full Force Virus. This card originally came out of Raging Tempest, and at the time I believe the price of this card for this and the Megatins was roughly around a nickel, quarter, something insanely cheap. I managed to buy about 50 Full Force Viruses from Raging Tempest and roughly around I believe 25 to 30 of the first generation versions from the Megatins. Why? Well, to prove a point. And if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you already know the whole thing about Full Force Virus. Everyone made fun of me because I got to reprint the Megatins, V. Ha ha. Well, time always proves someone right, especially when you know what's going on. The card's a virus card. Not only is it a virus card, it's a secret virus card with, yes, a Megatin reprint at secret rare, but the original print goes in value when the time calls for it. Full Force Virus is seen play as a one-of in side decks of Labyrinth. I do think as time goes on, this card might be a consideration for a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players, and in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the value of this card actually went up even higher in the future. Once again, if you guys bought this card for a nickel, 10 cents when I bought it, and people laughed at you and say, you're an idiot, you're a fool. Yeah. First edition version of Full Force Virus is roughly around $2, 3 with shipping. In fact, after that one has sold, it goes to about roughly around $4 if you round it up from its original price plus shipping. Full Force Virus. This guy has about 9 of them. They're roughly around $4 with shipping. You got a guy over here with 7 of them. Once again, almost near $4 with shipping. It's almost as if cards hold value if you know the right ones to buy. Now, I'm not going to break my neck sucking my own dick. All I'm trying to say is there are a lot of great cards here. And once again, if you said, hey, V, listen, I didn't think it was the right card, no big deal. It did get reprinted a lot. It's a common, it's an ultra rare. There it is in the 2017 Megatins about 6 years ago. And of course, original print in Raging Tempest, which obviously holds the best value. Once again, this is a side deck one-of that Labyrinth players are using. I do think there's going to be time in the game where cards like this, any virus card, is going to be needed. Everyone knows how broken cards like Eradicated Epidemic Virus is. And at one time, well, the card's value was relatively inexpensive because nobody was really using it. The minute people start using it, that's when the price goes up. And once again, the commons people might buy. The ultra rares people might buy. Just like Eradicated Epidemic Virus. The secret rares people will want to buy because that is the highest rarity. You know, with some of these Megatin cards, it's really hard to say don't buy this card because Zombie Vampire is a relatively good card. 2+ level 8 monsters. It has a huge effect. You guys can check it out, but relatively good. It's so limited to play in like Dragon Link variants for a very short amount of time. But the value of this card right now is roughly around 50 cents. In fact, that's for the Megatin Secret Rare, Prismatic Secret Rare. If you want to get the original print Secret Rare at Bowser Chaos, it's still relatively inexpensive. It's only roughly around $3-4 with shipping, which isn't a bad price point for a card in which you probably would use at most one of. Now you go RO9 this, of course, everyone does, you know, give it that quick rule of 9, and you're good to go. But for the most part, this is a really good card that I think a lot of players have been just, you know, looking past because of the Megatins and all the other cards in it. And can we just stop calling it Megatins? It's more like Mega Cardboard Box at this point. I mean, I don't know, doesn't look very tin-like to me. There's still a lot of great cards in the Megatins, by the way, but I do like this card a lot. I think it's a great card, and as I do my market watches, I'll pick up random cards that I think you might want to consider picking up. One card, though, is Crimson Dragon. Now, this card at Duelist Nexus had actually tanked in value. Had an all-time high of roughly around $26. The current value is roughly around $12. Now, the specific reason why I say you should get this one, as opposed to the Secret Rare, is because this is the one you can get the sneak preview. Meaning not everyone was able to get this. Meaning it's harder to get. Meaning it holds more value. Now, if you look at the secret version, it also did tank from $55, and the current price point is roughly around $10. So $10 or get the hard to get one for an extra dollar or two. I'm dead serious. If you're looking to pick up Crimson Dragon, definitely grab the Ultra before it's too late. I think it's a great card. I think even though it's not seeing play right now, when combo does come back, more than likely this card will come back with it. It's a great card for consideration. I think a lot of players might consider using it. And if it does see play, the value is not going to be no damn $12. Alright, then we have Guardian Chimera. Now this card, I just want to say how the TCG play is a little bit weird. It's been showing it being roughly around $85 for the CR version specifically of this card. It's actually going down lower. First version of this card is roughly around $70. After that one sold, it hits around $73, but still lower than $86. Might be something you might want to consider picking up if you're looking to get your branded Chimera deck max rarity. Alright. Triple attack is thrust. I said this a long time ago as well, and this is really important to note that I said the value will go down and then it'll go back up. And the reason why it'll go down is because we have an ultimate rare alternative. But it's not going to be cheap because not everyone can crack those packs and always pull guarantee you triple attack is thrust. And you see it in the market. This is a great example. Even in the past 6 months, you can see it just going down, being $64, and now it's roughly around $89. It's used in a lot of decks. Unchained probably being the most notable, but definitely a lot of decks. The current value is roughly around $88. Now, you do have an ultimate rare version of this card. Once again, it did go down for a short amount of time, but not a lot, 82, and now it's currently, what, roughly around 120? By the way, 118 specifically. But I don't understand, like, was it 82 for long? Probably not, but nevertheless, it's still definitely a card that obviously a lot of you players are needing, and the secret rare went down shortly, but since Konami didn't say, hey, listen, there's more reprints, it went back up. I will say, though, more than likely, Konami is going to make a reprint of Triple Attack Thrust. It's inevitable. Ultra Rare, or another Secret Rare, Prismatic Secret Rare, and then, of course, the Secret Rare value will go down. So if you do go to locals and you're grinding, hold your ultis. That will hold good value. The Secret Rare probably will not. One thing I find really interesting is Rescue Ace. Now, I love this deck. I have this deck. This is a deck that I want to start playing with soon, and I'll probably do some videos and deck profiles once I start topping events. But Rescue Ace is a really cool deck. And it got second place at the previous YCS Cancun. But is it worth it? I don't know. It's really hard to justify a deck being worth it when it really hasn't shown much prevalence since a YCS. I'm talking like regional level prevalence. If you look at regionals, there's some here and there, but not as consistently as decks like Branded Chimera and Unchained. With that said, it's definitely a deck you still have to understand what it does, because if you don't, this deck will smoke you really fast. Rescue Ace Hydra is one of the key cards in the deck, and it's a 3 of, and the value has really went from like $16, $17 to where it's currently right now. And by the way, it's increasing in value. It's trying to stabilize, but for the most part, the card value right now is roughly around $67 from a verifiable seller. After that, it's hitting roughly around $70 a copy for Rescue Ace Hydra. You can't play 2 of this, by the way. You need to play 3. Now, if you want to get the CR version, it's still crazy. Like, the CR is over $100 a copy if you look at TCG Play over here. And by the way, it's roughly around $115 each copy. You need 3 of this card. So it's just crazy how fast and how quickly Rescue Ace has moved to being a deck that was like, all right, it's decent. Getting a couple of 2 cards of support, I believe that was really needed. And now the deck's really, really a deck that you gotta understand what it does. It Ibly locks you, it shuts you down as far as the control game, because right off the gate, it tells you, hey, listen, I'm getting advantage. You have to answer for this. And there's a lot of players now, because one of the main weaknesses was against this deck was infinite permanence. A lot of players are playing around it, so you're even in a more tough spot, because infinite permanence used to be able to shut one card down, and you'd be good to go. It's getting harder to do that. All right, here is my favorite card of this entire market watch, Ultimate Slayer. Everyone said this card was cheeks. You look at the market, I don't blame. I mean, the market says, hey, $11 Ultimate Slayers. V, you're wrong. I mean, you go back a ways and see it going down throughout the charts. I mean, down, 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 down. So it's understandable why everyone says this card was bad. And then when Telemans came out, not Telemans, sorry, Kashiras came out, everyone's like, dude, I don't even want to look at this motherfucker. Like, it makes sense, because you have to send the card from your extract to the graveyard. Against Telemans, that ain't gonna happen. Until now. With the balance being now fully in effect, Telemans, I keep saying Telemans, Kashiras, for the most part, are not a worry anymore. And decks that can use Ultimate Slayer are using it. Players are using it, and the price in the market, well, it's showing that. The current value of this card is roughly around $22 a copy. If you want to get the Starlight Rare, which has still it's still down, by the way. Like, it's not really like shown in Starlight Rare yet. It will show soon. It's roughly around $121. This card is insane in a deck like, I don't know, Flunderies, whose extra deck is a joke and a bad one at that. Flunderies using Ultimate Slayer is insane. And the fact that they can now use it because, well, Kashiras is no longer around for the most part, especially a Rise Heart, yeah, that makes this card that much more better. And I'm not just saying Thunder, every deck, think about the deck you're using right now. Do you have enough so you could play Ultimate Slayer in it? And if you do, well, are you using this card? Because this card is absolutely broken. Your opponent can activate monster effects in response to this card activation. Yeah. This card's good against a lot of decks. I mean, just think about all the plays you could do in your head of things you could just do to break your opponent's board. Not only that, but this card is, well, let's be honest with you, highly undervalued right now. Nobody's looking at it. It came out of Power of the Elements, and did it get a reprint, you say? No, it did not get a reprint. So unless you specifically got this card and held this card when they released the Power of the Elements, and by the way, for a little context for anyone who wants to know how long ago was Power of the Elements, yeah, that was a deck, that was a set that released support for sprites, like cards like Gigantic Sprite. Oh, sorry, it released Sprite Blue. This is when sprites debuted, by the way. Yeah, Power of the Elements. So not everyone is up to date on this card. Didn't get a reprint in Megatons, Garua did. So Ultimate Slayer is also a card that you might want to consider picking up. Once again, it's really undervalued right now. Nobody's looking at it. And this card, no joke, is going to start seeing a crazy amount of play. Because for Flundery players, hey, listen, they'll send a Synchro away, an Omega away, to get rid of your Barone. Sure. Yeah, they'll send a Garua to the graveyard if they have to, I guess, to get rid of your fusion monster. Gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. Oh, by the way, Garua effect draw card. Like, this card is crazy. And the amount of play and facility this card has in the game guarantees this card's going to see play. Now, this right here is something I just like to talk about randomly. This is what I like about the market. Cards like Vampire Dragon, for the most part, is a bad card. This is 100% a bad card. But the last reprint of this card was an Astral Pack 3. Astral Pack 3. This card's effect is garbage. When this card tribute summons, when this tribute summon card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one low 4 or lower monster from your deck to your hand. That's it. I mean, hey, listen. That's what it is. And how much is for a first edition copy? Let's go see. It's go see. It's $4? I'm gonna say 4. $3. Dollar with shipping. Forward shipping. Listen, this is a highly undervalued card. Of course, you can go ahead and grab the common. Wouldn't blame me if you wanted to grab the common. It's about $1.20. So spend extra couple bucks, you get the secret rare. It's up to you. This is an old hard to get card. Not seeing any play right now. I'll be the first to say it, but these are the kind of cards that you gotta look at and go, is there a chance this card can see play in the future? I think it can. I think there'll be a future in which people might play Vampire Dragon. Who knows? But it's always a risk. It's always a gamble. Once again, you don't have to buy any of these cards in my videos. You just watch me rant and rage. And maybe this card will see play and go, hey, V talked about that card. Who knows? Let me know in the comments down below if you have ever done that. All right, listen. Make sure to go to my website, YGOPaisano.com. I have a bunch of field centers, absolutely gorgeous tokens on my website right now, YGOPaisano.com. Links will be down below in the description. Everything ships with tracking, and it normally ships within the same day. Guys, I really appreciate you guys watching my market watches. Make sure to comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. It's your boy V, and you Paisanos. Paisanos have a damn good day.